Yes, hello and welcome everybody to the Classwork 3 of Computer-Aided Design AutoCAD tutorial. This week we will be drawing a very detailed drawing of a staircase with all the technical documentation. It's intended to be printed for the scale of up to 1/20. So we will treat it accordingly. You can always download this in the description below. Yes, let's move to the drawing. Please have this in mind. We will read all the dimensions from this drawing. Let me set it up. Alright, so I've already set up my AutoCAD file. I already saved it, units, limits, and I already set up my drawing layers. So you can do it accordingly. For the layer axis, I clicked on the line type, load, and I selected the ISO long dash dot. It says it already exists because I've done it once. Then I selected it, I press OK. For the dash layer, which is basically our hidden plan layer, I selected the dash line just by clicking on load again, selecting the second one. So these two layers, the line type is different from other layers. Let's close this. Alright, I'll go to my layer axis, snap to grid by F9, L enter. This is not a very large drawing, so like let's say even 900 for the axis will be too much. Okay, so this is my axis offset. 360 seems to be the dimension. Offset. What is this dimension then? 610 minus 20 will be 590. So when the dimension is not given exactly, you try to guess it. If it's wrong, later we'll try to fix it. Alright, so let's actually move this down so it looks a little bit better. Alright, now I lock the layer axis. It's okay. Before locking it, again I'm selecting one line and pressing CH for the properties to appear. Let me close this. I select one line, CH. When the properties appears, I'll change this because remember this will be 1/20, so we want it to be to behave accordingly. This will be maybe too much for the axis. So MA for match properties, give it a source, F9, so the snap to grid is off. Click here, sorry. Alright, now we'll draw our structural system. You go to structure, rectangle, pick dimension, so 20 for the x-axis, enter, 50 for the y-axis. Then change the layer to hatch because we have to give it a concrete hatch, H enter. As I said, you can pick the internal point or you can pick the object. Now I'm picking the internal point. The hatch for the concrete is this one, is the second row, first one of them, ANSI 33, at least where I live. You can change the scale here. In yours probably will be something like this, completely dark, but you have to change it to something like 30 will do. Make sure that it's in layer hatches because if it's not, it will be completely black. In the printout, I'm drawing one line in the middle because I want to make sure, absolutely sure, that I'm doing this correctly. I had drawings which the AutoCAD suggestion guideline misled me to a few millimeters of a grid drawing, which will mess up the entire drawing. So I'm moving this here, then I'm copying the entire thing down. Yes, ML scale 20 justification 0. So I'll have one from, I'll go to my layer wall first, ml, I'll have one from here to here. I have this one here, then I have to move it actually, because this wall is over there, ml here. Here is where you can see actually the justification. So if I go to justification and I pick the top, you can see it will draw from the top, which is the case here. So let's explode this. 1, 2, 3, X enter. Let's lock our layer axis and our layer structure. Not turn off, sorry. Lock. Alright. Now we have a line here. Let's give it a proper dimension, 50. From here, the dimension is telling me that it's 245. Offset 15. Depends on your type of drawing, and usually, because this might be a shear wall, so there might be a line here. You don't always have to remove the line. If this is a shear wall, and this is basically a kind of 1/20, so we might keep this line here. We will have our break line later in the annotation. Let's say, okay, let's copy these lines out here. Let's break it from somewhere, because this is basically, this drawing will continue. This is a layout of a larger drawing, so we will treat it accordingly. And then justification 0. Let's say this one. Justification top. Let's say exactly in line with this one. Okay, now everything's alright. We will start to open the doors and windows. So I'll draw one line here and I move it 30. It's mentioned in the drawing as 30. Draw one line here and I move it. The drawing suggests 210. Trim, enter. 70. From here, and we have a very weird dimension 100 from here. Okay, trim, tr, enter. Let's get rid of these. Alright, now we will do this rainwater collection pipe here later on, after we finish the staircase, because I don't have any dimension for it and it looks to be close to the stairs. So for the for the landing, we have 150. Let's have 150. EX for extend, enter. Let's move this to layer stairs. Let's move to layer stairs as our active layer. Offset for the stairs 120. Always remember the landing should be minimum equal to the width of the stairs. So if this is 150 now, it could be minimum 120 because our stairs are 120. Alright, so I want to have two lines here. You can break the line, but I will just draw another one here. Match properties, MA. Oh, sorry, I got a little bit excited. MA. These two. Now we will start doing the stairs. The stairs are coming up from here. So let me actually do this one, 150. fillet these two. Okay. For match properties, draw the first stairs. So this is where we go up. Now each stairs is at 30, so offset O inter 30. This is one way of doing it, or we can do one stairs with the dash line and copy it. Doesn't matter, both works. So just let's now practice the offset. Offset, we have 5 centimeter for the, what was it called? I forgot. The small part under the stairs. So I'll go to dash. Again, offset 30. Offset 30. This goes here, goes here, goes here, goes here, goes here, 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 and here. Alright. So the other way around, this small part under the stairs will go the other direction. So this is the important part. That's why I don't want to, we can mirror it, but then we have to move these dash lines. So I'll mirror it. Let me even get rid of this one. So I'm selecting all this line, MI inter, middle line. So MI mirror, you have to give it an X for mirror, from which like imagine that you have a mirror in the middle. So you have to give it a line, a face, something that reference point for the mirror. So I'm pressing MI for the mirror. I'm picking the middle point. Here, now you have two options. It asks you, do you want to keep the original source or no? By default, it's on no. So if I press enter, it's on yes, it keeps it. But if you don't want it, you press N enter and it will remove this and just keep the mirror one. Now, this is somewhat wrong. So although the line stays, we have to move this to the other side. So I'm selecting all of these. It's about the logic of the stairs. So like you imagine that you're moving up here, and this is the small part beneath the stairs. I forgot the name, it's making me crazy. Okay, now something else. Alright, so starting somewhere here in the middle, we have our cut plane. So in the stairs, we always have the cut plane. I move to my layer annotation. Let's first draw something from here to here. Then I can use this. I didn't do a very good job of it. First, let's draw a kind of a perpendicular. So to do a perpendicular, we have to turn on the perpendicular on. The perpendicular, you can turn it on from the snap option setting. It is on. Yeah, I forgot how to do it. Let's see. Okay, this is now perpendicular. Let me put it in the middle. You can always use help if you have a problem. I mean, this is an annotation, so it's not really that important how you manage it. We can always mirror this. Or copy it. What am I doing? CO, copy. From here to here. Trim. Here, 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 here. Okay, this is good for annotation. If it's too small, you can always pick it up and press SC for scale. Take it from middle, let's say 1.5 times bigger. If you want to make it look a little bit more architectural, you can always pass this a little bit from the two sides. The AutoCAD will show you the continuity of the line. Okay, now from this point on, it will be all dashed lines. So I'm using, the important part is these stairs because it's half and half. So we have to break this. So if I want to break it at this point, I press BR for break. I select the object and I give it a breakpoint. It will break it into two pieces. I'll extend this and then match properties, MA inter. I make also this dash line. And MA, I'll make also all of these dash line. So everything else is also break. So even the balustry, because this is basically we are cutting in the ground floor. There is no stair going down. This is the lower level for the staircase. Sometimes if you have another stair going under it, you don't have to do this. You'll only have the annotation part. Everything else stays the same. Just remember, this is the stair on the ground floor. In the section, if you pay attention, which you have it in your hand, we are cutting from the ground floor. So that's why I'm making all this a dashed line. If it's not on the ground floor, you don't make it on the ground floor. You make it like a regular stair from both sides. So here, even here. Okay, now I have offset 10 centimeter for the balustry inside. Let's say 5. I think the drawing is 5. Offset 5. Inside, inside, inside. I'll show you how to do polyline. If you learn how to do polyline, this job gets much more easier. So I select this, put it together here. You can use fillet to remove the excess part. Okay, looks good. Now we draw the annotation line to the stair direction. L enter. You make sure that you need to find the middle distance of this here. So like usually I draw a line, something as a guideline. So like when I'm drawing that line, I have something. Okay, so I'll draw this line here, here, up to here. This is not in the middle. Okay, so I move this to the middle. This goes here. Another line continues. Fillet. Let's put a circle here. Sometimes they put two also parallel lines. ML. Even the annotation line gets dashed. So you draw again a line here. You mirror it. Alright, so it looks okay, but this one doesn't look actually as good as I want, so I'm going to change the line type scale of this one. So I'm picking this middle line, I press CH for the properties. Let's make this half as small, and it looks better. You want to have a variety of line thicknesses because if they all go into each other, it doesn't look that good actually. So now we have everything's ready. Let's do the window. Let's finish the stairs basically. So let's finish the stairs. So I'm putting D text, DT enter. I'm giving a height. So 1. If this is too big, you should have a look. Maybe this is too big. You can always press SC scale, give it the reference point and make it bigger or smaller, or just type down. I want it to be like 0.7 of the original. Then I pick it up. Let's move it to the side because we have to be resourceful here. Hit the space, CO, pick the stairs and just go up. We could have done it when we were doing the first step. Later on you can do it actually that way. But now, because I didn't want to make it more confusing with different commands line. So I'm just clicking on this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now let's pick this, copy them, and just find the proper place here. Make sure that you're not snapping to a very weird place. This one doesn't exist. Imagine that you are moving up. So this is 9, 10, and then you're jumping up. Then this is 11, and then we will have one more. This is now 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Imagine I'm not picking my mouse hand, I'm not using my mouse hand for this. I'm just always typing with my left hand. And then 19, down, 15, 16, 17. We have 2. This is 18. This is 19. And this is 20. Okay. Now let's move to the staircase formula. D, T, enter. You always write it about this line here in the middle. 15 centimeter risers, 20 staircase, each 30 centimeter. There are different ways of writing this formula in different regions as well, so if you used to do it the other way around, don't worry. Okay, let's have the level code. So I'm just drawing something here, doesn't matter really. It should be readable, that's the important part. I just want it to look good, so I want to follow a kind of a 45-degree angle or something like that here. That's the entire purpose of this line here. So a circle. I'm hatching here. I want it to be completely dark, so solid. Enter. Then you don't want to have too many different text heights, so I'm just copying one of these. I'll bring it here, and I type down plus 1.50. So this you have to calculate. Actually, I'm giving you a pass here by telling you how high it is. Like, for example, you have 10 stairs, you have to read the formula, so 15 is 150. It's not really rocket science, but as architecture students you should be able to calculate and do this very easily. So CO, just copying this because I'm cutting the ground floor. Here I will see only 0.00. I don't know how to do, it's very difficult to do the plus and minus together, so I'm just copying this down, click here, just add a minus, just put it under it. Zero is always tricky, and I always have to do something for the zero. There are some yes, 0, 0. Now the stairs. Sorry, the windows. So I'm changing my layer to windows. Let's see what kind of a window do we have here, but I don't want that window because it's not a very good window. So I'm doing one here, one here, one. Let me lock my layer wall. So we have something, a shading element of sorts here that goes into the wall. That can be rectangle from the middle. Let's say looks to be 25. So D for dimension will be 10 for the X direction, 25 for the Y. And I'm just giving it a direction. I can use the middle of this by mirroring. So I'm selecting the object, pressing MI enter, picking the midpoint and pushing it over here. And then I have to trim the wall, but if I trim the wall, I have to add one more line for the wall here, because this is basically going into the wall now. So let's do that. We have to be very clean with the drawing. Let me actually make the wall a little bit thicker so you can see it. The line thickness, the line width, 35. Let me make it visible. So now you see, if I trim this, then I have this line which is not really that good, so I'm putting it here, and then L, this one and this one. I want them all to be wall. So when you are printing it out, you want to see the actual cut in the wall, if there is something else here. Yes. So again, offset 5 and 5. Lock layer wall, offset 5, 5, offset 5, 5, trim. This is probably in a wing window. So another line for the glass. Alright, so the window is okay. Now let's say that this goes around. It's not just the shading. Let's say it's a box or something. So you can change your design accordingly. It looks better that way. Now, what else? The door. So let's have one line here. Let's have one line here. The door will go over the wall. So this is basically, let's say, okay. We will have, if we have a, let's say a 10 centimeter, 5, because this is a heavy duty, basically staircase door. So let me draw a line here. Let me push it into the wall. Same procedure as last time. Now let's lock the layer windows. Open the walls. Let me trim here. Go to layer walls. Finish this here. Imagine this is basically a system detail drawing. Not that detailed, but anyway, so this is what we'll try to do here. So let's get rid of these. Let's open the window, door. Okay, so this is it. I forgot to change my layer. I'm drawing in Windows. Why didn't you tell me? Select it, go to doors. We have a layer door. Okay, let's make the active layer door. We have to know what is this dimension. From here to here is 90. So 5 dimension, pick the dimension, 5 for x, 90 for y. And then you give it a direction. And then you do the arch, A enter, here, here. It's not actually 90. It's 85. Here, here, here. Okay. So we have a change of material here. You can also show this how the door goes into this wall. That's basically if you have a detail for it, if you know how to draw that detail. Even for this, probably we'll have a kind of probably a line here that shows how this window connects to this plate, which is prefabricated or installed in the wall. So you can actually have a kind of line like that. Or for now, let's leave it out. What else? We'll have to put the break lines here. So again, if you want to use the same line, go for it. Let's pick this one. CO. Let's bring it up. Let's rotate it. RO enter. But now I want to rotate it with the reference, because you see it doesn't give me a very straightforward line. So rotate for reference is the new lesson. RO enter. I'm giving, just like always, a point for rotation, and then you have here a reference. So I'm clicking on reference. I'm basically telling the computer, okay, I want this line to be here. So it's a bit, you'll get used to it. It's a bit tricky, but you'll get used to it. So let's put this here. Let's centralize it. Centralize it to have a clean drawing. I'm picking it up from here, here. Let's see if we have something anywhere else. Alright. CO for copy. My computer is very slow while I'm recording the screen. It's a very old computer, so that's why it's somehow jumpy sometimes. I can basically draw a line here. Put this in the middle. Do we have any more? Yes, we have one more over there. CO for copy. Pick it up from here. Put it here. But this time this is not centralized again. Anyway, this is not really that important, I mean, because these are basically annotating that the wall continues. So let me put this here. But we can't have anything after them. Oh, the layer is locked. Okay. Now, what else? We have the section lines and we have the bubbles for the axis. So let's first unlock our layer axis. Let's again snap to grid, because this is a little bit too short. So I'll bring it here. I'm drawing a line. extending this layer, EX inter. So let's say this is also a bit too much for now. To have more tidy drawing, erase. So I'm drawing a circle, F9 to turn off the snap. I want it to be in the same layer with the axis, so MA, match properties. Pick this, put it here, but I don't want it to be dash dot. So I select it, press CH for the properties, and I just change this line type to continuous. So a D text. This is 1. Make sure that it's in the layer actually for text, because we want to be able to edit it properly later on. I'll show you how to centralize it properly later, but for now just let's use it, let's eyeball it, because this will be too much for this lesson. So again, this one comes here, I have to pick this one, CO for copy. Some people put it all around it in 4 sides. I prefer to have it in 2 sides because this is a very small drawing and it's not necessary actually. So A, B, 1, 2. Alright, so we have something else here, a line that goes usually, let's say, for 20 and then 40 down. So offset 10, let's fillet this. And then we have details of the finishing of the wall. So you can have, let's say, offset 5 for the wall. I have actually a layer for this called detail. This will probably, these two are might be shear walls, but I don't know. Like, let's say for now, let's say we have a good structural system and none of these are shear walls. So I have a finishing detail for this in the interior wall. So let's say something like this, continuous. Why this layer? It's multi-line. Okay. Okay. Offset. Depends on where it's inside. Yeah, might be different. Okay, so I'm picking one. It shouldn't be as thick as the wall. It's detail. Probably very light, thin line. Okay, now what else? This is basically the drawing is finished now. Let's put the axis line. Let's go to annotation. Draw one line that goes through the window. Draw one triangle. Push it up a little bit. Copy this. I mean, it's up to you. Some people put it inside. Some people put it under it, some people put it here. It's up to you. Too big maybe. SC for scale. Let's go for 0.6. So CO from here. To here. This is AA. The line for this axis usually is not dash though. It's dash, smaller dash. I don't know what it's called. So I can load others because it's not good to have it same as the main axis. So this one looks good. Usually they're actually like center line. So let's say I want it to be this one. Okay. Let's make it bigger, even bigger. Looks okay. The annotation, the dimension lines are for the next lesson. For this lesson, this is enough. You have to draw section AA, and it's very important for me that you try to draw the section AA. It will be a great part of your grade, section AA, great part of your classwork. So you know how to draw the section. You have to draw this section in here and draw the lines. You can have you can create a layer called guidelines and just draw all the guidelines, lock it, and then start drawing the actual drawing with the same layers. To make your job easier, you can always use the view cube. So it will be very difficult to draw it here because it's counterintuitive somehow. If you click here, not here, if you go on top of the view cube, you will see that you can rotate with these two arrows the drawing. So the top is the normal one, north, up, south, down, west, and east. If you click here, it will try to rotate it clockwise. So now you can draw a kind of a line here as ground. Let me go actually to layer wall. Okay, so you can have you can use one of these layers, doesn't matter, something that you can lock, or you can create a layer for guideline. I'll just type it GL and I give it a kind of a more vague color, maybe a gray color, and then I start to draw lines, for example. Okay, so this is the structure, then I pick this, the wall, this one. First, start with the parts that you will actually be cutting. So you have this. So you get the point. So you go around and you use this line to draw the section, and you have the example of the finished section in your hand. You will cut the parts, these parts. Imagine that this will go up for 2 stories. The heights, you think of something for the roof height, but for everything else, this is the same staircase. It goes up and up. We will not have a door in the next level. We will not actually see the door in this section anyway. So this will be your homework, and I'm very keen on seeing this homework because I actually want to see it properly done. Thank you very much. Let me see if I missed anything. Doesn't look like. Let's have another something else here. The staircase is very important for me. I want you to pay attention to the staircase, and I want to see a very good staircase. Next week we will see the annotations, the dimension lines, and some more other commands related to the annotations. Thank you very much.